These next 4 months, we are locking in mind, body, and spirit. Gotta love the beautiful tea where always number one chill spot in the building. We about to lock in. Oof. I noticed on TikTok and Instagram, everyone's talking, even on YouTube, everyone's talking about their great lock in. And I love it because it's like this collective energy. And I was already aligned with it. Like I was already like about to really, really lock in, you know? We enjoyed ourselves this summer. Did you enjoy yourself? I hope so. Hope you soaked up all that vitamin D and allowed yourself to breathe and enjoy and, you know, just get your body in momentum. But we got about 4 months left of 2025. Oh my God. Oh my God, time is moving right by. 4 months left. But let me tell you something. Where's my pen? 2026, you're about to take off. You're about to take off. But before any type of takeoff, oh my, that's, damn. Oh, that's amazing. Before a takeoff, what do? We have to prepare, right? These next 4 months, we are locking in mind, body, and spirit. And we have to take care of the basics. And what are the basics? 1, sleep. You understand? Good breathing. How deep are you breathing, right? Being conscious of your breath, more present, regulating your nervous system, right? So you can move in the direction that matters so the mind's not all over the place. Because over here at the number one chill spot, we love to have a chill mind. Because a chill mind is a sound mind, it's a calm mind, it's a focused mind. It's a mind that is rooted in solutions, you understand? We also have to make sure we are on top of our nutrition, right? Right now, I'm so locked in with my nutrition. Went and had some like really good pho yesterday with my buddy. And then after, like we saw like this big cookie stand. And now these cookies, they're big, they look juicy, they look amazing. And my buddy has this big old cookie and he's like, you want some? I'm like, no. And he's like, why? I'm like, I'm just locked in right now. I just don't want that sugar right now. We are moving in the direction that matters. I want all the energy. We want all the energy. So we might have to make some shifts for our diet, right? Some seasons, things need to change up. Some seasons we need to tune up, tighten up, so we have all the energy that we need to succeed. And we're going to have to make sure we're getting movement, whatever that may be. You're in the gym, resistance training, maybe you're doing some calisthenics, maybe you go for long walks. I love my long walks. Long walks are like a prayer, it's like a meditation, about 10 to 15,000 steps right now we do a day. You understand? Making sure we're doing maybe our qigong, our yoga, our meditations, whatever you do to get the body in motion. We have to master the basics. And then we're also setting our goal, right? What is your goal for this next 4 months? How are you preparing yourself to fully take off in 20? I want you to really understand what is about to happen for you in 2026. Now you may be like, Heinz, you don't even know me. Nothing's happening for me. See? That's the negativity right there that we have to get rid of. I want you to be so sure of yourself in your mind, knowing that life is working for you, not against you, that nothing is in your way, but everything is on the way. Do you hear what I just said? Nothing is in your way. Everything is on the way. Now, if you feel like something is in the way, it's an opportunity. Limitations aren't there to stop us. They are there to mold us. You understand? They're there to teach us how high to jump, or sometimes how to be patient, right? I always say, you don't want nothing before it's true time, right? Why? Because it might fall right through your fingers. And sometimes it's a lot harder to lose something than to never have something. You know, a lot of people, you know, sometimes young musicians or young influencers or people who come into a lot of big money, sometimes that money becomes a form of abuse for them. They have so many resources, so much money, so much influence, so much power per se, that all these things that we think to be blessings becomes the very thing that starts to abuse them, becomes a source of their own destruction. So you may be hard on yourself because you're like, yo, I'm going to lock in. And then you think about other times where you try to lock in, but things didn't manifest in the way that you wanted. I want you to get rid of those old stories, those old narratives. Let's stop living in the past. We're going to give your nervous system a new experience, you understand? If you're constantly going back into the past, how are we supposed to create a new reality for ourselves? Think about it. You have the ability to go within the mind. Boom. It's a beautiful place to be, right? Man, and now you can imagine and reimagine yourself. You can imagine anything for yourself. Far too often, we see our mind as a source of suffering, a source of pain. And it can be, right? But our mind is here to be, our assistant, our partner, right? But we have to learn how to work with it and make sure that our soul, our spirit is the one that is truly driving the ship. So we can close our mind and just imagine our life. So for the next 4 months, I want you to go within the mind every single day and just imagine what you want your life to look like. But not just look like, feel like. Don't just say, hey, I want a lot of money, because you may get a lot of money, but now you may be very restricted with your time. Maybe you want to be able to travel, but the money comes in, but it comes in with a job position that just gives you no flexibility. So now you got the money, but now you can't even spend it. You can't even enjoy it. So I want you to really imagine what you want your life to feel like, right? If you want more connection and community, like write down, how does that feel? I love freedom, right? So I would never really take opportunities that restrict my freedom. Like if I got a job opportunity right now to, let's say, move to Denver, Colorado to be like a radio host. I love radio. I love audio. I would love to be a part of a radio show, but at this point in my life, I would hate to live in Denver, Colorado. Nothing against Denver, Colorado. And have to be at the station at 5 a.m. every day. I don't want to be there. I want to be here on my big comfy couch. Drinking my tea, creating my content, being with my daughter, traveling the world, showing her new experiences. I love freedom, but I also love resources, right? So we're not just saying, what do we want? But we're also identifying, what do we want our life to feel like? Use the mind. I want you to go into the mind more often and get comfortable with that place. A lot of us are running away from our mind. One of our greatest tools, the very tool we have to be able to imagine and create our reality, right? We go within the mind. I want my life to feel like, I want my life to look like. We inspire ourselves, we get that motivation, and then we get into action, right? Faith without works is dead. We know that. But we're going to master the basics, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to be on a regime. You're going to create structure, and then you're going to create structure so you can have freedom within your own structure. Do not wake up any day coming up in the next 4 months, because you're locking in. You're about to create a beautiful reality for yourself. You're about to show up and show and prove, and you're about to take off in 2026. But just like a plane is about to take off, what happens? There's a lot of preparation, a lot of safety precautions. And that's exactly what we are doing in these next 4 months. So every single day, you should be writing down what you have to do the next day. Don't go to bed not knowing what your first 5 things of the day, unless it's a rest day. And even on your rest days, I think in the lock-in season, you should still have a plan for your rest. You understand? Because we want productive rest. What happens sometimes, we try to rest, but now we're thinking about things that we should be doing. Or what happens? We're on our phone scrolling too much, and then the mind is overactive. So we don't even feel like we truly rested, right? So every single day you're creating a calendar. Get in your Google Calendar, color code it. Write down what you have to do. Write down what you are eating every single day so you are prepared. So you are not wasting energy being like, oh, I got to work on my business. I got to work on my content. I got to study, I got to do this, whatever it may be, but I'm hungry. Now you're thinking, what am I going to eat? And then you don't have nothing prepared. So what do? You go to McDonald's, or you go eat something quick that's not really going to nourish you, because we need the proper nutrition. Your body is always speaking to you. Listen to it. Your body will tell you what it needs in certain seasons to succeed. You may be like, hey, Heinz, I was like keto and it was great, but I'm not feeling so good right now. Maybe that worked for you in that season, but maybe you need to switch it up. right? Maybe you need a new diet, right? Maybe you need to bring in some more stews and the beans and potatoes and things like that. I've been bringing in, like, let me give you an example. Hold up, I need more tea. There we go. I was starting to feel like really tired, to the point where it's like, it was too much. I'm sleeping, I'm like eating, I'm like working out, but I'm like, why am I so tired? And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just getting older. And I noticed that if I didn't sleep like at least 7 hours, I could not operate. And then I was like, okay, again, maybe I'm just getting older. Maybe this is the reality. But I was like, no, does not feel right. Right. So then I made some shifts in my diet and I removed certain things, just completely removed them. And I started really simple. And I just took a lot of notice and intention and started to write down in a food journal or like a voice note. Every time I ate, I documented, how did I feel? Oh man, I ate that and I felt really energized. Oh, I ate that and I felt really heavy to the point I needed to take a nap. I ate this and the next day I woke up feeling great. And I just kept documenting how I was feeling, right? And then it got to the point after a couple weeks of this, my energy levels were just booming, booming. I noticed a couple nights I only slept 4 or 5 hours, but I just woke up and I was just full of energy. And I was actually starting to eat in almost a completely different way than I was in another season that was working for me. But I always say sometimes our old ways may not serve us in our new space. Now, I can't tell you what to eat. All I can tell you is, hey, try to focus on real foods, right? Do your meal preps. What I do is Wednesdays and Saturdays, I like to do meal prep. So on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I'll make a big stew. I also make a big salad. So at any given point of the day, I always have a stew in the fridge, like a nice vegetarian stew, or I have a nice big like chickpea salad in the fridge. So anytime I'm hungry, I don't have to lean on ordering something at Uber Eats. I don't have to lean on going out to eat and then having to digest all these oils and lower quality foods. You know what I mean? And then we always just keep a lot of fruits in the house and stuff like that. Be organized because you are locking in. You need all the energy. Don't accept just being tired. Don't just be like, oh, I'm just a tired person. No, listen to the body. Try to figure it out. Try to truly figure it out and really nurture your energy because we're locking in. And these next 4 months, you're about to create a beautiful life for yourself, right? You're going to design your life. If you don't design your life, somebody else is going to design it for you. And guess what? They're going to own your time. And that's just not right. That's just not, we designing our life. You understand? Again, we also need what? Movement every single day. Every single day. This morning, as soon as I opened my eyes, I told myself, get up and get outside, right? I had a shower, I did a quick prayer, and I just got outside and I went for a walk. Get that sunlight in your eyes every single day. Do not discredit the simple things, right? Far too often we focus on all these other things and we're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice my sleep and I'm going to sacrifice the nutrition to go get it. I saw this kid who built a successful company very young, but he said he gained like 80 to 100 pounds. He drank like 5 Red Bulls a day. And I'm like, listen, that's just not necessary. You can still hustle and take care of yourself. Yeah, you're not going to be going out as much or maybe really at all with your friends and things like that. But we don't have to eat bad. We don't have to sacrifice the sleep, right? Like, think about it. When you are sleep deprived, how good is your decision making? Probably not good, right? You probably even work a little bit slower and you lag, right? Because now your mind is looking for an escape because it's tired. But if you're rested, you can get into deep work and work more efficiently and do things more beautifully. So we don't want to hustle backwards. We want to hustle forwards with purpose and meaning. And then we also need to have joy in the process. I know a lot of times when we lock in, like I used to do this as well. It's like, we're not doing anything joyful. I ain't got time for nothing. But even God rested on the 7th day. So I want you to pick a day every single week for yourself when you're going into this lock-in season, because we are locking in the great lock-in. We are about to create a beautiful life for ourselves. We're designing our life. We're nurturing our homes. We're nurturing our minds. We're nurturing our bodies. You understand? We're reconnecting, or we're connecting deeper, going deeper with the Most High. Just source, you understand? We're appreciating this creation, the universe that we are in. The universe is our playground. The earth is our home right now. And we realize that we are in co-creation with the most intelligent designer, the intelligent creator, and we can truly design a beautiful life for ourselves and impact the world at the same time, right? Go into the mind. I want you to reimagine yourself. I don't care how many regrets you have. I don't care how many insecurities you have. I don't care how much you dislike yourself. I want you to reimagine yourself. Who exactly you want to be, how you look, how you talk, where you live, the type of connections you have, the type of networks you have. Go in the mind every single day and just vision it out. Put on some beautiful music and just tell yourself who you are. Tell yourself imagine yourself, make it a daily practice, and then we go and we get it. But once a week, we are making sure that we are nourishing ourselves. We're taking ourselves out on a nice little play date. Maybe we're going to the museum. We're going for some beautiful long walks, getting our favorite little boba tea, whatever it may be. Maybe you're catching a quick lunch with a friend, right? And then in that conversation, you're going to realize some things in that conversation that you can bring back into your process. If you're a creator, sometimes you may be like, oh no, I got to create content. I don't have time for anything. Not realizing you just go have dinner with that individual. You're going to have a conversation. That conversation is going to inspire you, because good content starts offline. So we also have to be living in a certain way where we are creating beautiful energy, and then we pour it into our creations. If you are a creator, an artist, or whatever it may be, which we all are. I don't want anybody to ever say, who tunes into this channel, I'm not creative. That is, you have a gift. You have a gift, right? You have many gifts. Problem is, often we don't even just have enough time to discover all the gifts, but you have a gift that you care deeply about. If you haven't discovered what it is, I'm telling you right now, it is in there. You will find it. Maybe in this great lock-in, you will discover it even more, because at the end of the day, it's a self-exploration journey. I want you to set a goal. Maybe it's a financial goal, right? The goal is a carrot that's hanging in front of us, right? Now, the carrot that's hanging in front of us, the funny thing is technically you never get the carrot, right? Because it's hanging in front of you and you're always chasing. We have to realize that the destination is in every single step. If for some reason you don't even manifest the goal, create the goal on the timeline that you wanted, I want you to always remember and reflect, but what did I craft throughout that process and that journey? Listen, timelines sometimes will shift and change, but when you lock in, you discover a new part of yourself. You're like, man, I didn't know I could really apply myself like that. Like, I didn't know I was that disciplined. I didn't know I could be that creative under pressure or challenge myself. In the great lock-in that we're going into, you want to make sure that you challenge yourself enough where you get to learn new parts of yourself, but don't push it to the point where you burn out 3 weeks later. Think about when you go to the gym, right? You start off at a certain weight. In each weight, you just add a little bit more. You progressive overload. So you build that strength over time. But if you just go crazy off the jump, you injure yourself and now you're out the game. You do not want to do that. You're going on a journey to discover yourself. You're going to craft more discipline, more insights about yourself. You're going to realize your creativity. You're going to shock yourself. You're going to believe in yourself more. And then 2026 is things are going to take off, right? And then you're going to arrive. And then when you arrive, what happens? You're going to set a new goal, because that's what we do as human beings, right? We always move the goalpost. That's why I want to make sure that we are making the process a vibe. A lot of times when we think about locking in, it's almost like, oh, like I got to put my hoodie on and it's going to be difficult, but just because it's difficult or hard doesn't mean we can't enjoy it. Make the process a vibe again. That's it. Make it a vibe, right? Try to enjoy it as much as you can, right? Because that's just good energy. When we realize the destination is in every step, we place all our focus only into the next step. And then we're not in this attitude of, I'll be happy when the business takes off. I'll be happy when I'm in the relationship. I'll be happy when I have 100,000 subscribers. You're saying I'll be happy while, because I'm actually enjoying what I am learning about myself. I am enjoying the challenges. I'm enjoying listening to my body and nurturing it and experimenting and going through the ebbs and flows of my own process and developing this real intimate process. And I'm enjoying every single morning, spending time with the Most High before I go on the internet or Instagram. I do that every single morning right now. Just before you touch the internet, just spend some time with self, right? If you have a spiritual and religious umbrella, spend some time with your creator and then get into the world, right? Because that's good energy right there. And then guess what? We just do it every day, right? Consistency, right? That's all we're focused on. That's our consistency. We're doing the best we can while we can. Some days you will do more and some days you will do less. But as long as you're showing up, doing the best you can while you can with what you got, my friend, I'm telling you, 2026 for you, things are taking off. All you got to do is jump in on the great lock-in right here. And you done know in hindsight, everything gonna be all right. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. I'm so excited. If you need help with like focusing and studying and stuff like that, we do study and work with me streams. So pay attention to those. Sign up in my new on my email newsletter. I'm going to be sharing the schedule for the streams there. And basically what we do is, a bunch of us hop on stream. Well, really, I'm on stream. Y'all are watching. But we just work and we study together. I put a timer on the screen, about 45 minutes to an hour. We focus, we work, then we stop for 5 minutes. We have some tea, we hang out, we talk, and then we get back into it. Some of us, we just need community and accountability a little bit more. So if you need that, tune in, join the newsletter, and yeah, let's just lock in together. You understand?